Mark Thiessen's here along with Richard Fowler. Let's pick it up there because, Mark, you feel as the governor does. Pick up that point about whether, even if you believe as lieutenant governor does, the point is, does the Obama administration have the authority to do this?
I don't think they do. I mean, this is a completely lawless action, and this is just like their executive action on illegal immigration. There's been no act of Congress that authorizes this. There's been no Supreme Court decision. There's been no regulatory process where people could comment. They simply issued an edict in the middle of the night informing school districts across the country and public universities that you have to follow this policy or we are going to potentially withhold millions. It's guidance, but it says that you can lose millions of dollars in federal funding, which, by the way, goes for poor children and disabled children for the most part. Yeah. And they're threatening these school districts. If they don't comply, then you have to do it. This is what the Obama administration does. That when they want to make a big social policy change, I think we can all agree this is a big change in society. When you want to make that change, instead of going out and trying to find consensus and make their case to the American people, they go out and issue an executive order and then find some law that they can reinterpret in order to justify it instead of doing the democratic process
and getting buy-in. Although, Richard, they had not been having a lot of success in getting buy-in. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, Megan. The government, the federal government, has the ability to release guidance. They do it all the time. What was problematic with both Mark's argument and the governor's argument is this ideal of, they can't do this. This is wrong for society. But they're forgetting that these are children too. These are people's kids who happen to be transgendered, and all they want to do is pee. And the fact that we won't let them pee in the bathroom that they identify as, it's downright sad and despicable in America.
Now, the argument against that, Richard. The argument against that is okay, but the children who are used to just identifying, who just seeing other, little girls, with a girl's body, will be, in the lieutenant governor's opinion, traumatized by the sight of a child that has a boy's anatomy but identifies as girl coming into the locker room.
Megan, here's the thing. I think kids are the most understanding people in the world, right? I think if you were to talk to children, you talk to children back in the Jim Crow South, the reason why they didn't like black people was because their parents didn't like black people, right? Or the reason why they have a problem with transgenders is because their parents have a problem with transgendered folk. So we've really got to redefine how we talk about discrimination and inclusion in this country. Schools should be safe and welcoming environment where everybody learns and everybody grows. The governor's right. We talk about reading and writing and math, but what's also important in education is being a well-rounded citizen and having, critical thinking skills. And having a diverse classroom allows that, make that possible.
Do you think, Mark, that in the same way that we've come a long way when it comes to gay rights in this country, that we are at the precipice of new rights and new acceptance of trans men and trans women, and this is the beginning of that, bumpy though it may be?
Yeah, well, I don't think this is actually not about acceptance of trans men or trans women. I think as a compassionate society, that transgender people deserve protection. But so does everybody else. I mean, the problem isn't so much a transgender person walking into a women's room and being in there and person being traumatized by it. The problem is quite frankly, is that sex predators could pretend to be transgender people and use that as an excuse. Hold on, Richard. Let me finish my point. Hold on. So I mean, the fact is that it's defined by how you feel. Okay, this is what it says. Mark. Gender identity refers to
individuals. That's what gender identity is. I mean, that's the push of the gender identity. Folks who are struggling with that issue, that they don't think gender should be determined by anatomy.
Every time that Republicans use this argument that Mark has used, give me one example where a transgendered woman has walked into a female bathroom.
It's not a transgendered woman.
Yes, it is a transgender woman. Give me an example. Give me an example of a transgender. Give me one example. Give me one example.
So Mark is saying it's not that there's a fear of trans
men and trans women. They can't give one example, Megan. Not one.
I can. People take advantage. Okay, I got to go because I have something important I got to get to. It's great to see you both.